ready for part 2 while I put my makeup on? This is going to be the follow-up to part 2 of when I got taken by gunpoint. This is going to be the story of how I got away. So let's just get into it. Okay, so I had been, at this point, held, I want to say, I mean, I wasn't held hostage for anything. Like, he wasn't trying to get anything from anybody for me. He was just keeping me for himself. And so that's what I mean by held hostage. But that is the word that I'm using, is hostage. And he was holding me at gunpoint. He didn't have the gun to my head the whole time, but I knew that I would get shot if I were to try to leave. So I feel like that's being held at gunpoint. And yes, I do my makeup with my fingers because I feel like I have more control this way and I don't waste as much product. And that's just that. My hands are clean. It's my hands on my face. I would never let anyone else touch my face. But that's that. Get over it. So I had been held hostage at this point for about, I want to say like 13, 14 hours. I don't know for sure. But he picked me up one day when it was light, and it was like light outside, early afternoon, and then it was the early mornings of the next day, but it was still dark outside. So I think it was like 6 o'clock or something of the next day. So it had been more than 12 hours. But I had been up all night, and because he had been up prior to kidnapping me, to abducting me, he had been up for 5 days, high on drugs. So he passed out overnight while he had my car keys on a chain. He had like all these chains around his neck, and he had my car keys around his neck on a chain, and he had this cell phone holder that he had connected to his chain as well, and he had my cell phone on that chain also, and he was passed out in the driver's seat. So he had this planned out. It's like he'd probably done this before, and all my phone numbers and everything were on my cell phone, and I had no way of getting my car or my cell phone or anything without waking him up. As far as I was concerned, I didn't know how to get that shit without waking him up. So I spent the whole night sitting in the passenger seat of the front seat, just writing down all the phone numbers that I could think of, anything that I could remember, while he sat there and slept next to me. Well, around 6 o'clock or something. Oh, and he knew that I was going to court at this time because I had recently been in trouble for some things. I'm not going to get into that. But he knew that I had court dates and stuff to go to. And being a female, we have that one red card that we can always use. Aunt Flo, if you know what I mean. That always makes guys uncomfortable. So I had just been mulling things over all night, trying to figure out a way to get the fuck away from this guy and get my shit back. Well, I hatched a plan, and I woke him up. He was surprisingly hard to wake up, which I probably could have just snatched my cell phone off of him without him even waking up, but I didn't have the guts for that. And I told him that, hey, I have a court date in the morning. Oh, I forgot to also add, he had me dressed skimpy AF in the front seat, which is another reason I thought he was probably gonna traffic me. He had me dressed in a swimsuit top and a skirt. And so I woke him up and I told him, I have to change clothes because I have a court date this morning. I was like, I have to be there at 9 a.m. and I just started my period, and unless he wants me to bleed all over Sorry, my memory card got full. So, I told him I was gonna have to go get a pad or something to take care of Aunt Flo, you know, and that made him super nervous, as it does usually for guys. And so he took me to HEB. If y'all aren't in Texas, that's the grocery store. He took me to the grocery store, and I ran inside, and he was so sleepy and delirious, he didn't even go inside with me at first, which is what I was kind of hoping for. But if he did go inside with me, I was just going to take off and run. But our grocery stores, our HEB grocery store, opens at 6 a.m. Some of them open at 5 a.m., but the one that I was going to opens at 6 a.m. So, I was like, let's do this. It's early. The stock boys are still stocking the shelves right now. And I was counting on that too. So I went over to I ran over to he stayed in the car, and I was like, shit, this is perfect. And I ran up to a stock guy, and I was like, let me use your cell phone. I just got abducted. He's going to be right behind me. I need to use your cell phone. I need to use your cell phone. And I just kept repeating that over and over. And he's like, what? And he just gave me his cell phone real quick. And then, hold on. And he was just like, I was like, dude, hurry. So he gives me his phone, and I try to get out the piece of paper that I've been writing all the phone numbers on, but as you can imagine, I was kind of in a hurry. So I just start dialing numbers. And first I call my mom. She didn't answer the phone. Then I call my dad. He didn't answer the phone. Now, the person that did answer the phone was my ex-boyfriend. His name is Matt. And I'm not going to say his last name, but he was like one city over. And luckily the city wasn't like too far away. But it definitely wasn't in the same city as me. And I was in Austin. So he was like, call the cops, dude. And I was like, no, I'm going to get away. And he was like, well, if you do get away, you can go to my house. It's cool. You know where it is. He comes running up behind me. He goes, hey, bitch. And I just run off, and I take the guy's cell phone with me. And I'm like, Matt, he's behind me. And Matt's like, call the cops. Matt's at work. He's a fucking welder. So there's like, I don't know why he even answered his phone. Like, he's at work welding right now while I'm talking to him. Probably while y'all are watching this too. So eventually I just dropped the guy's phone somewhere on the aisles, and I keep running, and this is just like the universe is smiling on me for everything I've been through. I'm like running up and down the aisles. You'll always see me like, okay, so the aisles go like this, and I'm running up and down, and I am not a fast runner. I am a short, stubby little girl, but these aisles became so short and stubby like me. All of a sudden, I'm going like this, and I turn a corner like that, and he's right there going the opposite way. So we like pass right by each other, and every single ounce of courage that I've ever had comes to the surface, and I just grab the fucking cell phone hanging from his chain. And like I said, the chains had my cell phone and my car keys hanging from a little clip on them. And so I just grab and I just yank as far, and these are metal chains. They're like gold and silver chains. And I just yank as far down as I could, and I just keep running. Like, I didn't even look at what I was pulling. I was just like, bang! And just keep running. And then I looked down at my hands. Y'all, I had my fucking car keys, and I had my fucking cell phone. And I just it took me a minute to realize that what I had just pulled off of him. So like, I was like I said, I was turning a corner to go like that. So I ran down that aisle, and that was running towards the back of the store. So I had to run back down that aisle to get to the front of the store. And then it still took me a second, and I ran back to the back of the store. And then I ran back to the front of the store and ran out. And this fucker was chasing me the whole time. This guy is like 6'4". I've shown you pictures. I'll put another picture here just so you can get like a little scale. This guy is 6'4". I mean, I'm 5'3.5", 5'4". Okay, I'm 5'3". Fuck it. But anyways, I'm not like a tiny person. I'm not skinny at all by any means. Like, but it was hard. I do not run fast. This is like picking up a car off your baby type shit. This was pure adrenaline. It was like running, it was literally running for my life. And I just hopped in my car, and by the time I got to my car, he was already outside of the store. And so like I had seconds to turn my car on, back out, and drive off without hitting him, because then that's like another, like, I don't know what the fuck. I'm just trying to get the fuck away from him. Sorry, I'm getting really worked up. This is why I keep pausing it, because this is a very traumatic thing to think about. So I got in my car, I drove off, and I knew that he had a gun somewhere in his stuff. He had all his shit in my car, which, by the way, was really rude, because he took all of my stuff out of my car, and I lived in my car. So all of my stuff that he took out of my car was everything I owned. And he'd already stolen all my other cars and taken out everything that I owned out of my car. So that was like the third time that I like restocked and owned more stuff. And so like he kept taking everything I owned out of my car, throwing it away or leaving it at hotels or giving them away, something. And then he would, actually, yeah, those are the three things that he did. And then he would put his stuff in. He was just making room for his shit. And I'm like, dude, this is my stuff. This is the stuff that I use to live. This is my home. And so I took all of his stuff and threw it off the side of the road. I just like pulled over on a medium, and I just put all of his shit on the side of the road, because I didn't know what was in it. I didn't know if there was knives or meth or fucking needles or what. I just didn't want it in my car. And so he probably went and got it all, but I just, yeah, that's what I did. And then I drove by his mom's house and screamed, which I don't know why I did this, because this is stupid, because I was homeless. They had a home. But I was like, you fucking hobos! Which is dumb, because I had my car and I was homeless in my car. And I drove by their home and was like, you fucking hobos! I don't know. But yeah, that's what I did. That's how I got away. And I did it all by myself. All by myself. I got away all by myself. Yes, I did. And that, you can, I don't know. I'm trying to find something clever to say, but I don't have anything, because I'm actually not that clever. I'm just cute. Okay, that's it. Stop looking at me.